Hey everybody, welcome to Hustle and Grind. We got the lovely Joe Madden and the NBA guru with us, Greg from G-Dog Sports. Obviously, we're going to be going through some NBA tonight. We've got three big games that have been, one's finished, two are still playing. But I'll let you guys take it away. Oh, and before I forget, thanks to Stables Media powering us.
Awesome. So Greg, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We are good. I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor. Let's talk a little bit about the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Denver Nuggets. This game is on right now. We are in the third, and they're pretty close in score. I'm seeing 67-69. My feed might be a little bit behind.
Canada time?
Canada time. Sometimes this app, I think it's like 2 seconds behind on my phone.
It's funny because sometimes I'll be watching the TV in the bedroom, and it's like 30 seconds behind the one in the other room.
Yeah, I'm seeing Nuggets at 69 and Blazers at 67 right now.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
8:09 in the third.
Can't believe they gave up that big lead.
They were up by 20 points.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the NBA for you, though.
Playoffs.
You get those runs, too, all the time, no matter what.
Hey, just
But here's the question for you. Like, I normally see the Nuggets do this. I see the Nuggets lose those big leads. And that's why it always scares me with them, because they seem to get up. They seem to be really strong in that first and second. And then I don't know what happens. This is just from me watching them.
Yeah. I don't know what the first half spread was. That might have been a better play. Who knows? But
Absolutely. So what are you on this game? I saw before the show started, we could have got the Denver Nuggets -1.5. Is that what you took tonight, or were you on the Blazers?
I have the Nuggets -2, and I have the over. The over is just pacing pretty well.
Absolutely. It's getting really
226, I think it was. So should be able to go over.
Absolutely.
You never know, though. They have 130 points at the half, and then all of a sudden they can't score in the second half, or the defense tightens up, or whatever. You slow down the time of possessions and things, too. So I've seen so many times totals that are like pacing to be way over end up under. So I never check my stuff until after the game. So.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it drives me crazy. I try not to watch any of the games I have money on. I don't.
Oh, I know it's painful. I do a couple parlays once in a while, and I literally pull my hair out while I'm watching them. I have to watch them, but it drives me batshit crazy, changing from channel to channel, constantly checking scores, and I get a little crazy. But you know what? It pays off sometimes. I got to
get away from that unless you're doing live.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot easier on the nerves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I find for myself, I pick up my phone and I check those scores 5 million times. I put it down and then I'm like, okay, let's check it again. And it's like a constant hoping that those totals go over. So it's a hard one. But it does look like we're going to hit the over in this game. I know both teams are really strong offensively. Do you think one has an edge over the other?
I think the Nuggets at home have the edge in this particular game. I just think with the momentum that you get now that you have fans in the stands finally. So I think plus, ironically enough, the head coach of the Nuggets is actually my best friend's used to be his neighbor, and when they lived in Cleveland, he was an assistant on the Cavaliers.
Oh, nice.
So he'll still call him sometimes.
Yeah, just
like last year in the bubble, he called him to congratulate him on whatever the playoffs, what they were doing then. But anyway,
well, that's awesome.
So
it's in the third right now. It's at 146, so I think it's going over.
Yeah, we'll see.
So if Denver wins today, this is game 5. So Denver will be up 1 on the series. Are they at home again for game 6?
No, it's 2-2, 1-1-1.
Okay.
So they alternate.
Okay. Well, hopefully they pull out that win tonight. You got them at -2. So best of luck to you in that one. Do you want to talk the Lakers game?
Yeah, I took the Suns yesterday. Actually,
before we get to the Lakers, I wanted to get Greg's. Oh, nice.
What were you going to say?
I just wanted to get your opinion on. We got it from P-Dub, but I just wanted to get your opinion on the fans as of recently in these last couple of games between popcorn on.
Yeah. Well, it's not just going on at sporting events. It's going all over the place. I mean, you had people locked up for a long time, and then they're out finally, and very irritable, I guess you should say. I don't know if you've seen the news or anything lately. There's stuff on airplanes. I think they had like 100 incidents per year usually, and there are 2,500 incidents so far this year. So we're not even halfway through the year yet. So it doesn't surprise me at the
Letting
NBA
animals
games.
out of the cages.
Kyrie's a jerk anyway, and then he stomped on the logo. So, I mean, it doesn't give anybody permission to throw a water bottle or anything like that, but it's not the Malice in the Palace from back in the day.
No.
It will be if they're not careful,
No.
though. I mean, lucky it was just
Yeah, well, they
popcorn.
got to be careful. They're going to crack down on this.
Well, if the water bottle would have hit him in the head, I mean, probably still wouldn't have done any damage. Obviously, it's plastic, so would have hurt a little bit. But if he wasn't such a jerk, obviously what he did to Boston too, I mean, he just needs to shut up. I wouldn't say shut up and dribble necessarily, but most of the time, the stuff that comes out of his mouth is pretty stupid anyway. So, just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I definitely
Just think
don't
about
know
it before
enough.
you talk.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into the Lakers and the Suns. So in this series, they are both 2-2 as well. The Suns were -5.5 for the spread. The under/over was 207, what I saw earlier. Now in this game, we all know Anthony Davis is out for the Lakers, so this really shifted the lines. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I took them yesterday at -4.5. I took the Suns just because I know that Davis was hurt. I didn't know whether or not he's going to play, but even if he was going to play, when you have a groin injury like that, it's not usually good, obviously. So, and then the dynamic changes a lot. KCP's out also, so that gets rid of one of their perimeter shooters. And then you have just LeBron sometimes can will people, will his team to win, but they're also on the road, so it's a little more difficult. I think the Suns want to prove a point that they're for real. And Chris Paul's made all the difference this year. So
he definitely has. Even with his shoulder injury, he's still playing very well. So making those points.
Getting some effective minutes for sure. Absolutely.
So who do you see winning this series?
I don't know. The Lakers are favored at the beginning of the series. Now I think it's even money. So it just depends on who can capture that momentum. I think when it's when you have that 2-2-1-1-1 thing and it's 2-2 right now, now you're in Phoenix. You have this game, depending on how close this game is, and then the Lakers may come out. If they lose this game, they'll come out with fire at home next game. I'm sure Davis will figure out a way to play as well. So, but they're playing with fire. I mean, obviously they had the injuries this year that got them to that play-in tournament and stuff. But otherwise, everybody at the beginning of the season, pegged them for a repeat of the championship. But that's before the Nets built their super team. So,
Absolutely. Now we did see the Nets win tonight. What did you think of that?
Well, the spread was 13. I had them winning on my formulas that I calculated around 20. And it's just Boston just doesn't have the manpower to stand up with them. So when they're all clicking like that, Harden, Irving, and KD, you just don't have any chance, I think. But it'll be interesting. I think when the Bucks play them or the 76ers, whichever one's up next for them, I think that'll be a more interesting series, actually. But the spread was huge tonight, so it was 13. They covered by 14. So got lucky, I guess. I didn't see any of that game. So sometimes those garbage time, last second threes or a deuce at the end will screw things up. But luckily it didn't this time.
Absolutely.
No, it worked out for you.
Yeah. So tomorrow's got some interesting games.
What are you liking for tomorrow? We have quite a few games tomorrow.
You have the Wizards at the 76ers. Sixers are up 3-1. The spread's 6.5 right now. I would definitely look at the Sixers to close that one out.
I hope they do.
Yeah. Well, I think the Wizards are just getting tired. I mean, they had that play-in tournament, and they're actually playing several games like that, and it's really tough on, especially in the intensity of the playoffs and stuff too.
And we have the Hawks and the Knicks. What are you liking in that one?
Hawks are up 3-1. Knicks are favored at home. I think Randall needs to step up and actually help them win a game. Instead, he's been a no-show in these playoffs, so that's why the Hawks have been able to grab the lead. But, they've made all the difference with Nate McMillan when he took over halfway through the season. They've been terrific, actually. So it's a tough matchup for them, but, I mean, it's an elimination game, so we'll see how the Knicks respond. I haven't run numbers on that one yet, so we'll have to wait and see. The Jazz, I think they're up 3-1. I think they're going to close out the Grizzlies as well. Same type of scenario with the Wizards, where they're just tired after playing.
So we could see 3 games close out tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much. You have then you have the Mavericks and the Clippers. That's an interesting series, actually. I like Luka a lot. I'm not really a Clippers fan. It's always. I lived in San Diego, or I lived in Long Beach area, LA area for about 5 years, and then I moved to San Diego. So I've been in San Diego for about 25 years. So I'm out in Texas temporarily, but from Southern California. So, but the Clippers have always just been the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still are, regardless. You know, Ballmer has a lot of money, obviously, throws at him and built a roster. But, Paul George, I mean, I don't think he's been the same player since he had that nasty leg injury when he was playing with Indiana. And he just, sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. Kawhi tries to do the best he can. He's, up 40 points or whatever, but he needs the other guys to contribute as well. But they have Rajon Rondo, which is what the Lakers had last year, but they also lost Lou Williams and Montrell. So he's playing for the Lakers now. So he was the 6th man of the year, and Lou Williams also is their key guys off the bench, and I just don't think they have the depth. They've been like that, though. For last year, everybody was expecting the Clippers to do well. This year, they're expecting them to do well. But you're not a championship-type caliber team when you go into a crappy team's arena and you lose. They just don't have that championship get up, I guess. I mean, they're hoping Kawhi could really solidify that team and bring that championship mentality, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really like the Dallas Mavericks too. So the spread is 7 tomorrow on that game, and the series is tied 2-2.
Without looking at numbers, I would probably take the Mavericks just at face value on that one.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like at face value too, because I haven't read numbers either and looked at that. What else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other predictions you have, G-Dog, that you want to share with everyone here? I
don't have any predictions right now, but I don't know if you guys want to talk hockey at all last night. The Maple Leafs being disappointed once again. I saw this graphic today. Somebody posted a tweet, and it was like, instead of the Stanley Cup being presented to them, it was like a custom golf bag. It's like, oh, that's cold.
I think they were waiting for it, though. They're ready for golf.
They have no choice.
Yeah.
They can't buy a series. It's painful. I talked about this before a couple times today, and they looked like in their last couple of games like they were playing like the Oilers, and they couldn't get to the puck fast enough. They couldn't of and they couldn't just match. They couldn't beat Carey Price. Carey Price got in their head and he destroyed them. And I can't remember the last time they won a series in the playoffs. It was it was either 94 or 2004. I can't remember. I should have looked this up. I didn't know this earlier. I saw it and I forgot it, and then I meant to look it up and then I forgot to look it up. So I'm failing on many accounts tonight. But either way, not as bad as the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I love the
Canadiens.
Problem with the Canadiens going on. They earned it. They deserved it. Yeah, and Price is fantastic. They're going to go on. I think it's going to be a crazy series against the Jets. I personally think the Canadiens are going to pull it out, but could go either way. Hellebuck's an awesome goalie. Price is a fantastic goalie with a ton of playoff experience. So I think the Canadiens are going to move on and then get trounced by one of the American teams.
Yeah. Well, I lived in Montreal for about a year and a half, actually. I worked up there temporarily and became a huge Canadiens fan, so saw a few games up there, including a playoff game. It's pretty awesome.
Well, the fans are pretty awesome in Montreal, that's for sure.
Well, they only let 2,500 in, I think, in the previous game. You guys are kind of still on lockdown up there.
Yeah. We're still on COVID. We didn't get our government didn't get the vaccinations fast enough like the states did. So we're still vaccinating people, and there was behind. I had one of my buddies. He was posting pictures on a plane going to this game, and I think these tickets were going for a couple grand per seat, if not more. So it was pretty crazy. But I mean, if you love the Canadiens that much, then by all means spend it. I don't know if I love any sporting event that much to drop a couple grand on a ticket.
Maybe the Super Bowl.
Hey, I can watch it on TV and get just as much out of it. Yeah,
the Super Bowl, probably.
That's a different story. I would.
You can't get a ticket for $2,000.
Even some.
Exactly.
No, but even some, but even some like conference finals with some of those NFL teams. I mean, I almost went to the Bears game a couple of years ago. I had to cancel last minute because something with work came up. But I bought a ticket. It was nosebleeds. It was through through the Bears and everything. It was all legit. It was one of the worst seats you could possibly get, and it was still $400 a seat.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Wow.
So. Hockey, I always bitch about the prices here. To go to a game in Calgary to get a half decent seat, you're about $150, and I'm like, wow, it's pretty expensive, especially if you take one of your kids. Now you're at $300, and you go from
souvenirs,
there.
Popcorn,
Oh yeah,
But at
right.
least
You
the
just
seat
walk
is
by
cheaper
those
than the beer.
cotton candy, ice cream. Yeah, it all adds up. You get the small ice cream for $14. It's always fun paying those.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to go to a lot of Twins games actually when I was a teenager, and it was like $10 just to go to the games. And I was like,
I hear you can still get into a baseball game for a half decent price. You know, you're not behind the home base, but you're or home plate, you're up and whatever. But you can still get into a baseball game for a half decent price, I think.
Yeah, depends. I haven't checked tickets at all. I've seen like down here, the Rangers they were the first major league team that actually had all fans on opening day, which is pretty awesome. So
yeah.
But absolutely. And did you hear that 30 out of 32 stadiums for the NFL will be at full capacity for this fall? And the other two, Indianapolis and Denver, they're pretty sure they're going to be as well.
Yeah, probably by September. I'd hope so.
Yeah.
It's nice to
It's
be
a
out
great
of
sign,
it.
you guys.
It is a good sign. It's awesome. Makes all the difference.
I think it's fantastic. It makes all the difference for us watching the TV too. Like I watch a lot of the Canadian hockey games. The stands are empty. They have that fake kind of cheering going on in the background, and then you watch like the Canes tonight. Even they get a goal, and all of a sudden that stadium erupts, and it's just a huge difference. So it'll be fun to watch football and everything else with all the fans in the stands again doing that stuff. It's going to be a fun year this year.
Well, it was like 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Canelo Alvarez fought down here in Dallas, and they set an indoor record, actually, with 72,300 fans. So
Indoors.
And that was after the Jacksonville event they had with the UFC. There was 16,500 in there.
That's
crazy. No COVID outbreaks, none of that stuff. So.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's positive. It's positive news. Things are going back to normal. We're slowly getting there, so we can't wait to get back out and do things again.
Cabin fever, and then now it's got spring coming and everything. Temperatures are getting nicer and everything. Stuff. Last year was tough.
It was 30 degrees today, and it's it's not fun when things are closed down, but things are opening up on our side of the border too now, so it's nice. It's nice. It's not as much open as you guys, but we will get there.
What'd you guys do during the pandemic last year when there was virtually no sports?
I bet on if my daughter's fish would jump out of the water basically to catch the pellets.
Oh yeah.
It got that bad. So.
What about you, Cammie?
Yeah, when they canceled everything, it was tough. It was a tough go. There wasn't anything on. You're not allowed to go anywhere, not allowed to do anything. You can go to the grocery store and you can wait in line to get into the grocery store or whatever. But it was it was pretty tough. I think everyone felt that pinch a little bit. And in Canada here, we didn't get the vaccination fast enough. So then we opened up a little bit. Then we had a second wave. Then we closed down again. Then we opened up again, had a third wave, and closed everything down again. So we're just looking forward to, now that we have more than enough vaccinations, that things are starting to trend in the right direction. It doesn't look like things are going to get shut down again, hopefully, cross our fingers. And then we can get back to hopefully watching sports again. We don't have, anything awesome like the NFL. We have the CFL here. I'm not a big fan of it.
I've been to a few games when I was up there.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. It's it's like incomplete pass, punt.
Third
and that's
down,
usually the way it goes. But the atmosphere is still very cool. You go tailgate before it. You drink in the stands. You have fun. You mingle with your friends. It's dirt cheap to go see it. And that was gone last year, so we never got to do like the Labor Day Classic and things like that. So it'll be nice. Hopefully everything opens back up normally and we can get back to sports as normal.
Greg, what did you get up to with the shutdown?
Oh, I hit a betting low last year when I was betting on esports, watching teenagers play video games for money. So.
Did you get into the Korean baseball as well?
I did try a little bit of Korean baseball, but I just couldn't get myself to do it. And then Taiwanese I was reading about that, and that's like all fixed. it's run by the mafia basically. So, and then they had limited soccer games. You know, you have like Nicaragua and what was it, Costa Rica, I think, and it was Belarus, I think, was one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's like all kinds of fraud going on with guys and stuff. And the worst though was the ping pong, the Russian ping pong, 24 hours a day. You had like a live feed, and you got like overweight guys with beer stained T-shirts playing ping pong at like 2 a.m. You know, it's like you can't tell me in Russia that's not fixed. You know, some guy's up like 21 or 2 games to none, and then loses 3-2 and stuff like that. It's like here's $100,000 if you throw this match, or $10,000 if you throw this match. It's like I just had to stop everything. But I became a fan of the Australian rules football, though. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was desperate for anything. I was betting horses, whatever, and then I got to a point last year I just gave up.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a good thing because those COVID sports, it wasn't working too well.
But September was awesome.
No, if you go look in the mirror when you're getting ready for bed or something, and then you just realize you spent the day watching kids video game and you're betting on it, you really got to take a deep look into those eyes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What the hell is wrong with me, man?
September was good though. We had so many sports, man. There's like college football, pro football. You had the baseball season was still going. You had the NBA season going. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah,
and then hockey came back for a late playoff thing. They canceled and then they started to back up for a quick playoff run, and then that was it. And then it was gone, and then football was on. So from there, it was really nice. It still flowed. I did kind of enjoy. I'm a huge NFL fan. I did enjoy the fact that there was like random Wednesday games or Tuesday games. I'm like, oh shit, there's football every day almost. I'm like, this
every
is
day
awesome.
of the week. Yeah.
So it was awesome because there's some getting postponed or whatever, and it was just they'd play a random different day, and it's just like I don't have to wait. It's not just Monday, Thursday, Sunday. It's almost every day. I loved it. Awesome. It was good.
NFL's my favorite too.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
College football's awesome though. College football's probably my best sport to bet on.
Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Buckeyes are my favorite.
How'd you end up being a Buckeyes fan?
You know what? Just because of the incredible defensive players they put out. Chase Young was from there. Joey Bosa. You have these incredible defensive players are my favorite. So that's how.
Gotcha.
Who's your college team?
I like the Hurricanes and the UCLA Bruins are like my 2 favorite I root for. But UCLA is just never going to get there. USC's in town, so it's tough. They'll beat them once in a while, but they haven't had any good recruits in there or a good coach in a while. Thought Jim Mora was going to be a savior, but never. Didn't turn out that way.
Well,
now you got
fingers crossed for a better season.
I hope so. We'll see.
Cammy, do you have a favorite college football team?
Yeah, I got 2 of them, and for the stupidest reasons whatsoever. Purdue, because I loved the movie Rudy when I was a kid, so I was like, well, I just love that. So I watched them. Notre Dame, Notre Dame. I'm sleeping. Notre Dame in Rudy, and then the Longhorns, because when I was younger, my mom brought me back a hat from Texas.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I just loved it. Loved the emblems. And then I started watching them. So it's just different reasons. I wasn't. I grew up in Western Canada, so we're hockey, 1,000%. You know, hockey nonstop. That's what's beaten into our heads when we're young. So we're kind of closed off to the other things like NFL football until we get a little bit older, right? And then getting into college ball and stuff like that. There's just so many teams, and I missed a game. I was at a work trip in Salt Lake, and the guy didn't tell me there was a college ball game, and I wasn't paying attention. I actually knew there was, but we were doing a race school at the Ford Racing Center, and I missed this college game, and I was really mad about it because we were going to do a trip. We had a trip planned to Houston to do the college ball, NFL, and a baseball game over like a week span. Try and catch all of them in a row because we don't have all that here. You got to go to Toronto to watch a baseball game. Yeah. There's no NFL here and no college ball for sure. So we wanted to do a trip, and we had it all planned and almost booked, and then COVID. So
yeah, that sucks.
We'll plan it again once everything opens up. So
I did see the final Montreal Expos game up in Montreal while I was there.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. Sometimes I see the hats. Sometimes you'll still see the hat guys wearing the hats because you can still buy the Expos hats, and it'd be pretty cool. It's we've lost a lot of those teams for sure. I mean, I grew up in Vancouver, so we had the Grizzlies for a while. So I got to see, the Suns play and all that stuff when I was younger, and that was lots of fun. Went to a few of those games, so
that's cool.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, I grew up in Minnesota originally. So anyway, sorry,
That's
Joe.
awesome.
From Minnesota?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm like talking about my childhood on a sports podcast. Sorry, guys.
Talk about the Golden Knights and the Avalanche series. They got smashed last night. The Knights did. That was a great spot for the Avalanche, though, because of all the tight games.
I don't think it's going to be as easy the next game, but I still see the Avs pulling this out.
Yeah.
I still see the Avs. The goalie was it Brubaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brubaker. He's fantastic. He's a Vezina Trophy finalist. He's going to be a tough one to beat. And those Colorado, they're kids. They are powerhouses. They're not going to get as tired as fast. So I still think Colorado's going to pull it out, but I think the Knights are going to come back tomorrow night heavy.
Vegas looks pretty good though. That's probably going to go 6 or 7 games at least.
Oh yeah, no. It's not going to be a sweep. It'll be 6 or 7 games. And it still could go either way. That's my feeling on it, but I think the Knights are going to come out the next game, and they're going to be heavy. They're going to be.
I like the Knights a lot.
Yep,
I like them a lot. I get to be a fan their first season when they actually made a run. That's pretty cool. Seeing an expansion team.
Yeah, they got that. There's a little bit of a draft error there, but I think they've changed it now. They're adding the Kraken. They're not going to get the same luxuries as Vegas did. I think that was Bettman just trying to get a really good team put into Vegas to generate more money for the NHL, and he wanted a solid team. So he made it very easy to get good picks there, and what's harder for the teams to protect them.
What's the excuse with the Raiders, man? You got to have one winner and one loser, I guess.
Yeah, well, I guess they should hire Bettman to work for the NFL, I guess, because Bettman is a big favorite. He loves to push teams into the States. He loves the American teams. I don't think he likes the Canadian teams as much. So he wanted that Vegas team to do really well, and it did. And it is. It's awesome. It's I don't mind the Knights. I'd cheer for the Knights over a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I remember when the Anaheim Ducks were the Mighty Ducks, when that whole thing came out with Disney. I was actually working in the newspaper business, and I had tickets to like their first scrimmage that they had there. But I'm glad they dropped the moniker the Mighty Ducks and just went with the Ducks.
Yeah, I know. Remember the old jerseys too? They copied the jerseys pretty much from. I did like the one Ducks jersey with like the goalie mask over the duck face. Like that was kind of cool. But as soon as that Disney show came out and they came up with that team, it was I'm glad they dropped the Mighty.
I'm not. I think I actually like
just the Anaheim Ducks.
Better than the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Jesus. It could have been the Los Angeles Ducks of Anaheim, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Well, thanks, Greg, for coming on tonight. We're a little bit over our time limit here, but you've been awesome. Thank you for coming on and giving us your knowledge. And next time, if you want, we can go over teenagers playing video games. If we want to do that kind of betting, we can do that for you. I don't mind. I'd be interested to hear all about it. But
I'm out of that.
Thanks. COVID's over. I'm back to normal.
Exactly.
So again, thanks to Stables Media. Thanks to you, Greg. Where can we follow you?
At GDog Sports on Twitter, and then at GDog Sports on Instagram as well.
That's
wonderful. Well, everyone, make sure you go give him a follow. He has great package deals as well on there. And it was an honor to have you on today. We'd love to have you back. So just let us know anytime and we'll have you on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
Greg.
See you later.
Right,
bye, guys.
Bye, guys.